Stone Mother Rattled by Kwasaibi Anumu, renamed Northern Paiute Indian. Long ago, when Nevada had few Indians, before the first family was renamed Paiutes, there was a man named the Father and a woman named Mother that had 4 Indian children. 2 children were good and always behaved, while the other 2 children were bad and always liked to fight each other. The father was a good hunter who always provided wild game for his wife and children, and the mother was very knowledgeable about digging roots and gathering plants for medicines and food for her husband and children. They lived upon a great mountain with plenty of abundance to support the family. One day the mother went out to pick berries to prepare for the gone, so he agreed. After the mother walked out of sight, the father looked over to the children to see that the good ones were being good and did what they were told, but the bad ones threw rocks at them. So the father separated them, 2 children on one side of him, and 2 on the other side of him. The father was feeling very sleepy after all the fighting between the children. After separating the children, 2 good ones lay down on one side of him, and the 2 bad ones on the other side of him. The father decided to take a nap. The father put the 2 good children on one side of him, and the 2 bad children on the other side of him. While the father slept, the 2 bad children began to shoot arrows at the 2 good children. As the fighting continued, one of the arrows struck the father in the leg and woke him up. The father saw that the children were still fighting, and now he has an arrow in his leg, and he became very angry. He said to the children with a deep angry voice, "You children." The father kicked 1 child to the south, 1 to the west, 1 to the east, and 1 to the north. He told them to build a fire when the night came meals. She asked the father to watch the children while she was sleeping so he could know they were okay. When the mother came back with her basket full of berries, the father told her what had happened and what he had done. The mother began to cry and cry. Every day she cried. She missed the children and loved them very much. She cried so much that she forgot to feed her husband, and he became impatient with her and lost interest. One day the father picked up his bow and all his arrows and left the mother before the sun came up. She didn't know what to do. Then she cried so much. As she sat with her basket, her tears started to make a pond. As the mother continued to cry and cry, the pond began to fill up. It became the size of a lake. Then the Great Spirit watched her and listened to her as she just sat there crying. He made thunder, and she didn't move. Then he made lightning. The mother still sat there weeping for her children. Then he heard her say she didn't want to live without her children. So the Great Spirit turned her and her basket into rock.